up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am going to organize my bookcase. I actually ended up moving my bookcase to my boyfriend's house, so I had to move all of my books, which was not fun. It doesn't seem like a lot when they're on the shelves, at least for me. I only have one bookcase filled with books, and it really was a lot when you have to transport them to a different area. That was rough. It's mostly going to be a time lapse of me organizing the books. I'll put some music over it, so if that's not your thing, totally understand. It's not really an in-depth organization video, just because I still haven't narrowed it down as to exactly how I want to organize it. And then I have these white shelves, which actually hold a lot more books than I thought. When I first purchased them, I thought, wow, only like very few books will fit, but as you can see, like, I have 4 books on this shelf, so it does take away from that main bookcase. So I feel like I'm going to have quite a few empty spots over there, like gaps. So that's also why I don't want to make this like an actual organization, talking to you exactly how I'm doing it, because I feel like I'm going to need more books to fill in those gaps before I'm happy and can present it to you. So that's what we're doing today. I hope you enjoy. So to start, basically what I have on these shelves, I'm just going to talk a little bit about, because I think whatever is here book-wise is probably going to stay here for now anyways. So on this first shelf, I just have some Halloween decorations. It's kind of like a blank spot for now, because again, I don't want to take too much away from the bookcase. Next shelf down, I have the ACOTAR series, just the main trilogy, because when I joined in on the hype of ACOTAR, it had already been a while since they had been released. So I only was able to get them in paperback, and they didn't have them in hardback at my local Barnes & Noble. But then the 4th extra novella book, A Court of Frost and Starlight, I did get in hardback, and I didn't like the way it looked, also because it's just so much taller than these, which is why I chose to put only the trilogy up here. And I completely throw out that thinking with this next shelf. But on this next shelf, I have the Zodiac series, which I have one paperback, one hardback, because I think this is kind of an old series, and they only had Zodiac in paperback, but I didn't expect to like this book, which is why I was okay with buying it in a paperback. But I actually love the series. I bought the second book in hardback. They actually had that in hardback at my local Barnes & Nobles. I am planning on acquiring the other 2 books in this series. I also do plan on replacing this paperback with a hardback. I just need the funds, so I will get there. So again, this top shelf is kind of like a placeholder where I will put seasonal decorations until I have enough books where I feel happy with filling these shelves and my bookcase still looks full. I have made that choice. For the most part, these shelves will hold a series of books, just because I think it will be easier to just group them all together on one shelf. So this shelf is empty for now, just because I haven't decided what I want to put on there. My dog is moving the camera. It's just holding my print cards that I moved over. We still haven't set them up. And some of my bat decorations and the little sticky putty, which is how I put up my print cards. So that shelf is kind of a mess right now. Don't look at it. Don't pay attention to it. Then on the third shelf, I have the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, which I absolutely love and adore. The 4th book just came out, and I did a full unboxing for the Beacon Box Special Edition of Capturing the Devil. If you have not seen it, check it out. Moving on down to the last 3 shelves. These are 6-tier floating shelves. So on the left-hand side, I have the Lanterns Ember, which these shelves are mostly, for right now, how I did it, are like my seasonal books. You know, it's October, it's the spooky season, and I feel like these 2 books are spooky. I haven't personally read them yet, but I think the covers look really creepy and definitely very October, Halloweenish themed. On this side, we have the Lanterns Emperor, which, I mean, look at this cover. It's absolutely creepy. We have a skull with fireflies coming out of it. Holly! And the colors, I think, are just perfect for the October season. I have a egg with an elephant holder. My aunt actually gave this to me. She said this had a purpose. I don't remember what it is. I don't even remember. I think she said this was lightning rock, and I placed it on this shelf because I thought the colors mixed in really well. And then on this side I have Wicked Saints. I think it looks perfect for a Halloween read. And then next to it I just have this coral piece that I used for one of my Bookstagram pictures. If you're not following me on Instagram, definitely maybe consider checking me out. I'm a little hesitant about these last two shelves and why I haven't put anything on them, just because I feel like if they are this low to the ground, Holly is going to think they are fair game, which they are not. For now, they're just holding random things. I have my little pouch with all of my tabs in it. And then I have my Thomas Cresswell blanket, which I have not used yet, sadly, but I think today might be the day. I think me and my boyfriend might watch a movie or something, and I will cuddle up next to Mr. Thomas Cresswell.
Excuse me? Mr. Who?
Moving on. I also had a notebook that came in my beacon box. Again, if you didn't check that out, I will leave it up in the cards. And you can watch my boyfriend get mad again about Mr. Thomas Cresswell. And then on this shelf, I just have my binder of stickers. I am a glam planner, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically you plan out, but there are shops on Etsy that sell stickers for that particular planner, and you can go all out with your planning. These are the regular Happy Planner stickers, which I used to have, but then I realized it was really hard to maintain. I don't do a lot on a day-to-day basis to justify having a regular sized big planner, and the stickers were kind of pricey for it, which, well, not pricey, it was reasonable for the type of planner and the size of the planner, but for me personally, it just didn't fit in my budget. I have now switched to the mini Happy Planner, and the stickers are at a much reasonable price, and it just works better for my lifestyle. So that is it. I guess you could say that was the mini tour of these two shelves for now. I'll do it updated once everything is exactly how I want it. So now comes the hard part. We get to organize all of my main books onto the main bookcase. My plan is to do it by genre, but we'll see, because there are certain books that I do want to keep together.
Before you educate the head, try to educate the heart.
Waiting for the lighting to come back. Kind of to recap where we are at the midpoint, we have most of my favorites up here with a few extra ones that I needed to fill up the space. So I have all of my Alice in Wonderland related books, then I have the Iron Fae series, and then from there it kind of went into Fantasy Fae. So I have the Cruel Prince series, the novella from the ACOTAR series, and then I have the Shadow of the Fox, which isn't necessarily fae, but it is kind of like the other person, you know, like the other, like whatever. It just fit. It just fit. And then Furyborn, which I haven't read, but I believe is fantasy. So then from there, it just kind of went into regular fantasy elements, not necessarily fae wise, and then slowly drifted into my science fiction books. Mirage is actually a mix between fantasy and science fiction, so that was the perfect way to blend these. And now we're going to get into the mystery thriller ones. And finally, I have like this last bit of random books. I have the It Girl series, which I'm conflicted whether to say it's middle grade or YA. I want to say it's YA. And then I have the Da Vinci Code, then a few middle grade books. These are all going to go in the shelves in the cupboard. So down here, as I told you, we have 2 extra shelves. I already have the Twilight box set in here, as well as my Polaroid camera that I have not used in forever because I don't have film, and film for these cameras is kind of expensive. So I have the Twilight box set in the white covers. I kind of want to get rid of this set. I already have like a big stack of books that I'm going to be unhauling, which I will do a separate video on. But at the same time, I keep thinking I'm going to reread them, even though realistically I'm probably not going to. But it's just going to sit down here for a while. Heather already canceled me for not liking Percy, but I have decided to give it a second chance because I am a big believer in second chances, and I have heard that the series gets better with time. So I will read the second book and see how I feel after that. If I don't enjoy it, this might be a series I will be unhauling. And then the very bottom shelf is just a bunch of miscellaneous items that I have no idea where to put else. Yeah, so that is how we are organizing this for now. So getting rid of 12 books. It's not as empty as I thought. The main 3 shelves, it's not as empty as I thought it would be with the books that I've transferred over there. So I'm pretty happy about that. Feel free to send me more books though if you'd like. My wish list is linked down below. I'm happy that they're no longer just sitting on the floor. Thank you so much for watching. Me and Holly appreciate all of the support, me especially. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. My name is Elle. I have a lot of books, and I'll see you in next time's video.